Well, hello there. I wasn't sure whether to make a video on this shit or not, so I have let the dust settle a little bit, so to speak, because after all, I'm just a lowly manager with a 5 Ethereum gallery and not the most clued on opinions when it comes to Sorare historically, but sometimes it helps to hear from your average idiot manager on the platform to get a wide range of perspectives. So that's what I'm here today to do, is to represent the idiots and see what I think about the whole second division fiasco we've got going on right now. So the second division is here, but let's take a second to see the division that this announcement has caused. Fucking wordsmith me, just see what I did there, that was genius. It was a big announcement to make and a big change to the game, so naturally Sorare completely fucked it up. Okay, I'm being a bit harsh here. Typically Sorare make great changes to the game and follow through with their words, such as with the progression bar. Okay, well with rewards have always been great on the game. Okay, shit. Well, what about the time they handled the whole Blackpool situation with grace and finesse? Yeah, I don't remember it either. Shit. I won't delve too much into the actual addition of the league. Some new cards are slowly trickling out for these second division sides, and it fits Sorare's core principles of onboarding the top 20 leagues and such. I'm sure long term it will be a positive addition to the Sorare ecosystem, but I'm here today to discuss my skepticism. Now, I've always been a skeptic when it comes to clairvoyance and the dark arts, but this announcement is verified proof that it is truly possible to be psychic. Look at this fucker here, Relegation Lover. Now, this guy loves relegation. It's in the name. Now, he made his account a month ago and spent 80 grand on relegated players, just on a whim, just because he felt like it. So to do that, and then less than a month later, this announcement comes out from the Sorare team, I mean, being psychic is clearly the only explanation. I mean, this guy is the David Blaine of Sorare. David Blaine was a magician, not psychic. He's the Uri Geller of Sorare, you know, the guy, the spoon cunt guy with the spoons. Either way, Spoonfucker here is a verified psychic, and I am now a full believer in these psychic prophetic abilities. So I've done a bit of research on how to become psychic. I've googled, and the first bit of advice I've stumbled upon is to explore the room. I have to touch the furniture, apparently. Yes, this table feels like the Bundesliga too. Oh, yes, I can feel it. Yeah, I think it's working already. This next tip is to inhale and exhale, so breathing. Now, I'm not one to brag, but I've actually been breathing for quite a long time in my life at this point. In fact, I do it almost every day, so got that shit down on lock. And the final big tip is to get back to nature. What? Yeah, it didn't fucking help. I don't feel very psychic right now, which means perhaps Relegation Lover isn't psychic either. Maybe they knew this announcement and this change was going to happen before everyone else did, which is not a good look for Sorare. People on Discord spotted this mystery manager a mile away, insider trading they're calling it, which is apparently illegal. Now, I know the crypto space isn't governed by these laws to the letter and dodgy shit goes down all the time, but is this a look Sorare want going forward with their game? Probably not. Whether it fits the definition of insider trading or not, I don't know. I'm not a walking, talking fucking thesaurus, but it won't fill people with confidence in the platform. Now the question becomes, was this information leaked prior to the announcement, or was it a calculated gamble by the manager Relegation Lover? Vanimus here makes the observation of all roads pointing towards the second divisions becoming licensed and scoring points in So 5, and you know what, yeah, certainly looks like it was in the pipeline for a while, no question about that. Now the J here, the J? Fuck knows if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but the J here, he has ran the analytics, he has narrowed down the percentages of this gamble on relegated players to be an exact 50-50. No idea where the fuck those numbers have come from, but yeah, it makes sense to me that a person just decides to make a Sorare account one day and spend 80 grand on relegated players with no utility as a 50-50 gamble. Way easier doing that than, I don't know, choosing red or black on roulette. Now Kai makes a point here. The Bundesliga 2 and Serie B team Monza were licensed months ago, last year in fact, back in 2021, so why all of a sudden now would this manager buy up these players? Why not before? Why specifically closer to the time frame of the announcement? Now we all know Sorare don't decide these announcements willy-nilly on the day. They plan these weeks ahead, maybe even a month or two ahead, which was about the same time this account was made. Come on, man, like, I'm not a math guy, cunt, but like, you do the maths on that one and you know, put the pieces together. And then the Sorare god himself, Nicholas, entered the conversation with an announcement. Accounts have been suspended, which, okay, good. I mean, we don't know what accounts these were, and all it means is they can't play So 5. They can still sell their cards and run off into the sunset with their big bags of cash money, which is probably the main aim of a heist like this. But hey, it's a start, I guess. Nicholas also announced that the preliminary investigation indicated that the suspicious activity was linked to the updated 2nd Division player photos as well as previous partnership announcements with these divisions. Nothing at all is mentioned about a potential leak of information around the announcement, only factors related to information everyone had at the same time, which, to not even acknowledge the situation and the metaphorical elephant in the metaphorical room is metaphorically absurd, if you ask me. And no one did ask me, but you're still here watching it, so that's on you. You did that to yourself. So you're saying a relegation lover having the exact same information as everybody else on the entire platform as a brand new manager to the game was one of only a few people out of fucking what? 2 million managers according to Nicholas? He was one of a few people who took the 50-50 risk on buying up a fuck ton of these relegated players with no utility. And he spent 80 grand in the process of doing so just on a hunch, on a gamble. Oof, I mean, that's a tough sell with me, I'm not gonna lie, and I'm fucking stupid, so if you're not fooling me, you're not fooling the smart managers out there, so yeah, I'm not buying what you're selling, guys. And even then, there's two glaring holes with this whole situation. The first one being that the 2nd Division player images were roughly updated to maybe closer to 3 weeks ago when this video comes out. But Relegation Lover created his account and immediately started buying relegated players over a month ago. So before these relegated player profile images were even updated. So like, these relegated players having their images updated is irrelevant to the conversation around the potential leak of information, as Relegation Lover made his account and started buying these relegated players in mass before the player images were even updated. Okay, cool. Which leaves two scenarios on the board. Scenario 1, Relegation Lover is a brand new manager to Sorare. Maybe a friend told him about the game, or, you know, he found it online or something. Maybe he found out about Sorare from one of my amazing videos. This brand new manager, who naturally would be less experienced than people like you and I when it comes to Sorare, decided to make an account, and instead of buying maybe a threshold team and some strong limited teams or something, they instead thought, I'm going to gamble here actually, and spend 80 grand on relegated players who can't score points on a game I've only just found out about. And he's completely new to the game. They have no idea if Nicholas basically announced that relegated players will get utility 2 months ago, or, you know, the scope of how Sorare announces their updates and develops things behind the scenes, so, yeah, like assuming this is a pure outsider to the game, as Cage says right here, it's perfectly normal behaviour for someone to come and do this. Hint of sarcasm there, by the way, I'm pretty sure. And then that leaves scenario 2. Relegation Lover isn't a brand new manager to Sorare and is in fact the multi-account of an already established manager on the game who used a new account to cover their tracks about knowing inside information behind the announcement. Like, let's be fair, 80 grand is a decent chunk of money to whack onto a game that you've just heard of, so this isn't some small-time pond koi fish. This isn't some, this guy, basically it's not an immaterial amount of money to put onto Sorare, alright? So whoever's multi-account this is, not only did they likely have inside information about the announcement, they also have a sizable chunk of capital to put into this investment. I mean look, both scenarios are bad, I know which one's probably more likely than the other, but to say this was a calculated risk due to past licensing and some updated photos is naive at best and disingenuous at worst. Now, I'm not here to accuse anyone, so luckily Twitter's done that for me. 2Bob showed these messages from the 9th of August, so almost 2 weeks in advance of the announcement. Basically, someone's brother was going hard on these relegated players because they already know they're going to have their own league and utility. Not just a lucky guess or a gamble based on this text, it supposedly confirms their knowledge on the change in scoring. And I trust 2Bob with these texts personally. I've spoken to him a few times, he's a bit of a dork like me. So if this is coming from him, someone quite well trusted in the community, then, you know, make of that what you will. But who is the brother in question here? I mean, I have no fucking clue. But this brother apparently had some dodgy dealings with an Etienne green card, which was called out again on Twitter as going from buffet bargains to, well, I'll let the images speak for themselves. As I say, it means nothing to me, but, you know, you can find all the information on Sorare data. Basically, this card was bought for 1.76 Ethereum and sold a day later for, like, a 40% loss. It's just weird, man. Weird at best. And as I say, I don't have a clue. I'm not here to get sued, so, please don't sue me, Mr. Sorare, people. But let's look at this objectively. All signs point to this Relegation Lover account among a few other potential managers, most likely being privy to some information that others were not. Maybe, or maybe not. I don't know. But my final take on the matter is crystal clear. Weaselmont here says the Relegation Lover's profile proves absolutely nothing, but for me, it proves one thing. I am convinced they are a combination of psychic and clairvoyant, and that's my story. I'm sticking to it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that viewpoint on the whole situation from an idiot manager like myself. And yeah, love you. Get out of here. Bye.